What's up, YouTube fans? Today we'll be unboxing and taking a look at the KFC Toecutter, their version of the Gobots Cykill. So this is kind of their first forte into Gobots. Pretty much always they're doing Transformers, and I had to take a look at this. Now this is off their mold for Wreck-Gar, Crash Hog, which they've been using over and over. I know it's a good mold, so I wanted to take a look at this figure. And let's take a look. Just on the box, let's just see. So on the back, it's got line art there. You got a bio. Typical KFC style box. Here's the bottom. EV metal. What number are they up to here? It says 2022. And I'm not even sure what number they're up to, but let's get it open. And they got the nice Fantasy Club sticker there. I can't remember the last time I bought a KFC. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while. Alright, so you get the wheels, of course, which will be mounted onto him, but they look pretty nice, actually. Nicely painted, as always. They always do a good job on the detail on these. White spikes. And you get two of those. They appear to be identical, so I think they are. They finally started doing Ziplocs. Thank you, KFC. Although this is not, but let's see. See, this is the kind of baggies I hate. I hate when they do this. Because you rip it open and then you can't put it back. So just give us Ziplocs. That's all we need. Just need Ziploc bags. One Ziploc bag will do it. So you got the rear view mirrors, you got your brake and clutch pedals. Here's the rear view mirror. Just painted silver. You got the little spiky pieces done in silver. And I guess you get two more, what do you call it, orange rubber pieces as well. So there's those. Get two of these. Now, I don't think these are going to go well, but it's nice to have these extras because they're easy to lose. So if people lost these from Wreck-Gar, nice to have these. And you get two little adapters here. So if you want to mix and match parts, you can. So there's everything as far as accessories. You get instructions and a card here. There is collector's card, nice artwork here. Here's the back, tech specs. He's got some low specs there, but there you go for that. And the instruction book. Shout out to G. Tony for asking me to look at these more consistently. Same artwork on the front. Then you got the instructions. Looks like they changed all of this. So it's not the same as Wreck-Gar anymore. It looks like they completely redid the book. So good on them for doing that. These are all pretty much the same transformations. So you don't even need the instructions. This has been transformed so many times. Look at all those. That is a lot of Junkions. My gosh. Wow. Anyway, there's your book. Get that out of the way. And let's take a look at the figure. It comes in a little baggie. Get that out of the way. So, first impressions, he is very similar to the prior figures. This looks to be a little bit loose, but I think it's on a screw. So luckily I can hopefully tighten that. There's a screw right there. Actually, there's a screw on both sides. I can probably tighten that, make that stay. All right, let's get this guy looking more like his original character. And I'll put them up there so you can see what it looks like. But get the wheels plugged in here. You can kind of do it either way. I'm going to put the detail towards the outside. They have this side as well. Just get those plugged in. And then you want to take those silver spikes that we got and plug those in right here. So it looks like that. And there's a couple of details we'll have to put on when we get to the bike mode, but he's essentially ready to go. So there's what it looks like. There's the G1 cartoon. Now, I remember this looking different in the original renders, and it was because he had silver arms and several silver legs. And if we put the original toy over here, they've changed it. So he's got just gray arms, gray legs. There is some paint here, but there's no paint here on these arms. And then it's just the head sculpt is just not quite there. So let's get in close. So there's that head sculpt, and I don't know, man. There's something about it. They just didn't quite nail the look of that original Cykill face. Now, maybe they did it on purpose. Maybe they didn't want it to be too close to the likeness, but it does just look a little bit off. So let's go over his articulation while we're taking a look. The head is on a rotating swivel. I don't even know what's happening. You can't... you can't rotate the head without lifting it up because of the sculpt. I have no idea why they would have designed it like that. But as you rotate it, he looks up. There you go. Shoulders rotate all the way around on a ratchet joint here, out to the side on friction. You have a rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow. One is a ratchet, one is a friction joint. Similar to all of them, they've all been basically the same. Rotation at the wrist. You have individual fingers here. These are kind of new. So you have 1, 2, 3 fingers that are individual, and then you have a thumb that goes in and out. They don't really move like fingers, but I guess that's how the Gobots move. I don't know. I can't remember. You have a rotation at the waist. It's a ratcheted, so that's nice. No ab crunch on this guy. The hip skirts will go up to here, allowing the leg to go up to there. Back to here, hindered by this back piece here. Out to the side on friction. It's pretty tight, but you can hold. By the way, this foot was loose out of package. I did tighten these screws, and that helped. So it's definitely nice and tight now. So you may need to do that. Luckily, it's on screws, so you can tighten it. You have a rotation at the thigh. Single jointed knee gets you 90 degrees. You have an ankle tilt in both directions. You have a toe tilt down. Nothing really up, just a little bit up, but there you go for articulation. Now, as far as accessories, you do get these orange pointy bits. They're not really useful here. They just don't make sense. So, I mean, they're kind of extras for Wreck-Gar. You also get these, so you could actually take parts from other Junkions and combine them. You can use this all sorts of ways, but again, not going to make sense for this character. Then you get this weapon here. So this is really the only weapon he has, and it's actually his struts for his front wheel. But this will go into his hand here. Make sure you have it with the tab facing the back. That'll fit in here. You can close the fingers around it. And he holds that okay. There you go. There he is with the weapon. Not the best weapon, but I guess that's what he had. So it's a nice big wrench to beat you with. And for a size comparison, there he is next to the MP44 Optimus Prime and the original KFC Crash Hog, the original Wreck-Gar. You can see a lot of similarities between these two. The design is basically the same. Of course, they've remolded some parts to make it look more like Cykill, but basically same size, same everything. Slightly different feet. The feet are a little bit longer. Some of the leg parts have been changed and smoothed out. The arm parts are slightly different in terms of the molding and sculpting. The shoulders are slightly different. Obviously, a different head sculpt. But overall, very, very similar to the original mold here. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his bike mode. And it is very similar to the original. Some slight changes, but overall, it's basically the same. So go ahead and take the wheels out of here. We're going to take off these pieces here. Just set those aside for now. You can set the wheels aside as well. All right, come to the arms. We're going to rotate the arms 180 degrees. And just leave those there for now. Come to the backpack here, on the peg, this from here. It is loosely pegged into there. We're going to take this whole piece and pull this out from here. This has to still do its thing to get under here. It's the exact same thing that we've had before. So you want to fold this all the way over while you get this underneath. And it's never been fun, honestly, but you want to pull this through, basically. There's a little bit more clearance on this one, just the way they've done it, but that's how you want to do it in that order. Now that you have that out, you're going to take these handles are going to fold all the way in. They actually collide a little bit, so you want to push those down and in. Same on this one. Take the head, that's going to fold inwards like this, and take this whole thing, that's going to come down and sit like this. This will come back down. Next, we want to get that black fairing out from in here. So I'm going to do that. You can just push with a spudger from this side. It is painted, so just be careful. Use a plastic spudger to do that. This is going to come down and sit here. There's a little peg right there that's going to end up sitting inside of that fairing. So you kind of have to line it up. It's sort of a weird setup here, but this should end up in the front here. There we go. Now we can come to the inside here, open up these chest pieces. This works exactly the same as it did before. So basically these will flip up. They're kind of like out and up. So they just sort of peg in on the inside. All right, open those up. Take these arms. These are going to lift up and rotate into here. And they kind of have to sit at the right angle. So they'll sit just inside of here. All right, same on this one. Rotate that inwards. And make sure you have that at an angle. These are going to come down and peg into here. And you'll know you have it at the right angle if these arms end up sitting, right on the inside of that curve there. All right. Take these arms, and they're going to fold all the way back. There's a little peg here that you got to get out. So you can do that now. Right here on the front of the hands. Fold that peg out, both sides. Don't forget about that. So fold these all the way back, and those are just going to sit like that. This is supposed to come forward, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but it's supposed to just sit right here. It pegs in right there. There's obviously a problem there. We'll talk about that. Come to the back here, and we'll take care of these legs. So open up these panels all the way. They are painted, so just be careful with those. And then you're going to extend this down all the way. This piece is going to unbuckle from here. I'll use their language, their terminology, say unbuckle in the manual there. So lift that back. These are going to fall all the way down. This is going to kind of sit in the middle because it's going to end up pegging against the legs. So these legs are going to end up pegging in to these knees. So these knees actually fold around this way. And you can see there's a hole there, and that's what's going to plug into here. So get that all the way down and get that pegged in, right? You can't go any further than that. That's as far as it'll go. And so this tab right here is going to line up with this. So if you have everything right, that should line up. So you want to get that all the way forward. Fold this tab inwards. Fold this under here, and then fold this blue tab on top. Rotate the foot, and then that's going to tab into here. So that tab we folded out of the arm fits into the foot. And I'm pretty sure that's the same as the other one. All right, let me show you the other side now, since we did one. So go ahead and rotate the knee, fold this all the way up, make sure it tabs in down here. This is moving on me. Then take these two, and these are going to peg in down here, so line those up. Make sure you get that right. And this tab went in. Line this up, make sure you get this tab over the top, and you can tab that into the foot. There's 2 tabs right here in between, and then these 2 tabs are going to fit in between the legs. So you got to kind of line all of that up at the same time. And once you have it all lined up, give it a push, give it a squeeze together. And actually, I should have put this wheel in first. So get the wheel in, and then give it a squeeze all the way around. So that back wheel is in there. I've squeezed this together, and I've squeezed that together. All right, last step here is to take this piece here, separate the weapon. These are going to go around the wheel. So you're going to put the edge that's like a little bit longer to the outside. So peg that into there. Now mine has a problem. It doesn't stay. I thought maybe it was this side or something, but it's just loose. I don't know why. But that's how it works. So you get this pegged in. Both of them are semi-loose. Not a big deal, but... Right, so it looks something like that. We want these two looking like that. These are going to plug into right here, the white part here. So make sure you have the holes lined up, obviously, with the right side. So it may be easier just to get it in here first. Now this is also on a hinge. It's supposed to fold all the way forward, but it doesn't stay. It's supposed to kind of lock in place. For whatever reason, it doesn't. So just push it all the way forward as much as you can. Right, I got those in there. Get this around the wheel as best as you can without having it fall out. Something like that. And then this is supposed to come down and peg into here. And it looks fine, but as soon as you set it down, it pops out. So that's the problem I was talking about right here. There is an issue. I believe it's the tabs. They're unpainted, and then this surface is also unpainted. Maybe it's the tolerances. Maybe they miscalculated without the paint. I'm not really sure what happened, but it's clearly doesn't fit. There's something up with the design on this version this time around. But no matter what you do, that's what's going to happen. So you can't roll it, obviously. I guess what you could do is put these down, and that could kind of fake it to look like it's working. But as soon as you put it down on that wheel, it's going to fall. So there's your bike mode. Not terrible looking, but terrible functioning because you can't put that down. You can take the pieces here and get those plugged in. So if you want, you can take these, put them in the back wheel well here, and then these can go on top of that, kind of like that. So you have the spikes, so you can kind of store them, and I guess that's why they gave you those. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Transform Element Optimus Prime and the KFC Gunker, which is the previous one I looked at here. Fits in obviously nicely with the other bikes, and it's a big vehicle meant to be. So final thoughts on the KFC Toecutter. Let's start with the positives. Overall, I think it's a fairly decent looking guy here. I mean, they've got the look down pretty close in terms of what Cykill looked like. They have some decent accessories. You got the wheels here, which, you know, complete the look, and then the 2 little wrenches or whatever you want to call them, that, you know, you can make into 1 or you can use into 2, whatever you want. There are some accessories, which, by the way, I didn't put on in the motorcycle mode, but you can attach these on there, and that helps with the motorcycle mode. But negatives-wise, the motorcycle mode is a failure because of that molding error, design error. I'm not really sure what it is. It just doesn't stay together. Now, I know that's a molding error, and it's not a QC issue because I watched a video from... actually, a guy that I know, I met him at TFCon a while back. His name is T2RX6. He has a channel. I'll link his video here, and you can check his. It's a very short video. It basically just mentions he has the exact same problem with this backpack. His doesn't peg in robot mode either, but in vehicle mode, it's supposed to peg in on these top tabs, and it just doesn't, and that's what causes the whole thing to kind of fall apart. In addition, my wheels don't peg into the axle, so that kind of helps it fall apart too. And, you know, that's kind of a critical thing. Like, that has to just work, right? It just has to work. And after so many molds, I don't know how many they made, 10, 15 out of this mold, you would think that they'd be able to get it. But For whatever reason, this one definitely has a problem. So, even though I think the motorcycle mode looks pretty good, the robot mode looks pretty good, I don't think it's worth getting because of those issues. In addition, there's other versions of Cykill out there. We got the DX9, I forgot the name, Sagamore, I can't remember exactly the name, but that one was pretty good. But then we got the official to Action Toys Action Robo version, which looks just like Cykill. So I don't think this is going to beat that out. In addition to the issues that it has, I just can't recommend it. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.